Hi everyone, let's talk about bathroom lighting. When starting to design your bathroom lighting, first consider the visual experience you'd like to create in the space. It's got several dimensions, including the spatial, experience, emotional, and aesthetic. Then you want to consider the different activities that take place in the bathroom, specifically the grooming activity, that's the major one, but also the shower, bath, spa experience, and the toilet. How does your lighting design make people feel about this room? The spatial experience is how the lighting reveals the form and the finish and the details in that space. You might consider, do you want a room to be seen all as one, held together kind of with the overall ambient lighting design? Or would you rather have smaller areas with localized, they call them pools of brightness? Moving to the emotional dimension of lighting as a visual experience, ask yourself which emotion would you like your lighting to evoke? Intimacy, expansiveness, efficiency. Um, Imagine the different types of bathrooms and the different types of emotional experiences that you could create. Finally, move to the aesthetic experience. And there's really two parts to this. First of all is the aesthetic experience of the lighting itself. The luminaires, the style of them, their scale, how big they are, and their detail. And finally, how does that lighting support the aesthetic experience of the whole space? It can reveal the architectural elements and the decorations. Next, let's talk about the different tasks and activities that happen in a bathroom and how to light them. And the major one is the grooming task. Turns out the illumination levels required for the grooming task are just about the highest that you can have in a house. And the facial grooming in front of a mirror is a very vertical task. So your light sources should be diffuse rather than concentrated, and you want to, in general, approach the face from in front rather than from above. So let's take a look at what that might look like. Here is a face that's lit from above. Notice the dark shadows under the nose and the eyebrows, right? Versus here's a face lit from in front on either side of the mirror, and you can see the even lighting across the face. So let's talk about some different options for illuminating a mirror in a grooming area. And they can fall under the general headings of direct and indirect. When using direct lighting, your luminaires could be located on both sides of the mirror. This is common and it's pretty good practice. All right, this is the most effective illumination. You can also locate your luminaire on the wall above the mirror, and sometimes this can create some shadows. Right? Again, you can still get some of those dark shadows under the nose and the chin area. You can use direct illumination from a soffit over the mirror. Right? Use a diffuser so that you get that soft or diffuse light, and you still get some shadowing even with that diffuser. Also, this is a used to be really common for hotel lighting. All right, so some clients may not like that particular aesthetic. Finally, you can use luminaires on the ceiling, but like we just saw in the last picture, that really creates some shadows, and it tends to backlight the person because you don't necessarily put the lighting, the ceiling lighting, up right up against the wall. Let's move on to indirect lighting. All right. And a common and effective indirect lighting method is to tuck lights behind the mirror surface, and then they bounce out around the wall and come around to a diffuse but from the front lighting system. All right. And that works pretty well. Also, you can light indirectly from a cove over the mirror, and this is comfortable because it's indirect, but there might be some shadows and you might not get the strong and focused light that you need. So let's take a look at some examples. On the left, we have lighting at this mirror area here provided by an overhead recessed light. And we've got pendants on both sides. So that's going to be the direct, and it's a combination of lighting from the sides and lighting from overhead. On the right-hand side, we see a common and well-lit grooming station with lighting on both sides of the mirror. Moving to some other examples, on the left we have lighting installed behind the mirror. So this is an indirect application, and you can see that it is bouncing out around the wall and giving kind of an overall glow, indirect and diffuse. Finally, we have this example right here. We've got some recessed lighting in the ceiling, but truthfully, that's more for the ambient task. The grooming tasks, we've got two grooming areas right here, and they are lit from built-in lighting at both sides of the mirror. Let's talk about some of the other bathroom tasks, right? They are lower on your priority list for bathroom lighting. Starting with a shower, for a small shower, just some borrowed light from the rest of the room or ambient lighting might be enough. Or you could provide focused light in the shower area, especially if you've got somebody who uses it for shaving. A single central downlight is most common, but you can kind of switch it up for some other lighting types. Moving on to the bath or the spa bath especially. All right, a luxurious lighting concept might be more appropriate for this area, especially if somebody's going to relax. You could provide soft and dimmable or maybe even colored light for a spa bath. And something you really want to keep in mind is that you're going to have a seated or lounging occupant, and so you'll have a different view angle. Watch out for the ambient lighting fixtures and also the task lighting at the grooming area. Make sure that those aren't going to glare in the eyes of your bathtub occupant. Moving on to the toileting center, many people like to read here, so go ahead and provide a comfortable overhead light, not too harsh and glaring. And also realize that this area is used for nighttime use, and so you'll also need some low-level lighting in here. Finally, when you're talking about bathrooms, don't forget that there's a significant cleanup task that happens in bathrooms, and many items are hard to see and hard to reach. Specifically, shadows can be a problem, especially if you only have a single source lighting in your bathroom. Right, so consider some multi-source or more diffuse lighting options. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. On the left here, we have an example of a colored light in a shower area. And on the right, we have accent lighting in the alcove. All right, so we've got this little decorative niche. And in general, the lighting can be dimmed for relaxation in this bathing area. Let's take a look at a toileting area. On the left, we have kind of in the back side of the bathroom there. It's got a recessed light in the ceiling just to provide light for that area. And it's also using a translucent screen, all right, to provide privacy without blocking light. On the right-hand side, we've got some pendants that are providing light in the grooming area. All right, and making sure that you've got a high level of illumination in this area, specifically in this bathroom, for reading the labels on medicine bottles. In this video, we've covered some of the important considerations when designing lighting for your bathroom. Thanks, everyone.